What are you guys wearing?
We're wearing our new Homesteady shirts.
Oh, look at that. Is that Luna?
Pretty Luna.
I just got home from work, and I want to show you guys why it pays to train your pigs to electric fence. Oh, I'm not wearing a hat. I look weird. Hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, you getting scratches? Scratches on the tree? So we just let these guys out this morning. Or we let them out this morning, not just let them out. I let them out 7.
Yeah, but I don't think they crossed the threshold till 7. I left here at 12:30.
And they still hadn't come out?
Crossed. So
yeah.
Somewhere between 12:30 and, 4 is when they went over. Because that was all green. It's gone. It's decimated. That tree had leaves on it.
So we let them out at 7, and they didn't come out till past noon because they knew there used to be electric over there and they didn't want to go near it. This is the sort of thing that's totally awesome about getting your pigs trained to electric fence, because you don't need to worry if this fence were to go down. You know, I've got 4 or 5, at least, 6 hours before they even attempt to go through. And if the fence is still there, there's no way. Like if I had left the poly tape up, there's no way they would have gone through it. They would have stayed in. But they're excited for all the new space, for sure. Let's see if we can draw them out a little further. Come on, guys. Come on. Pig, 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 pig. She got a bucket.
Yeah. They're figuring it out. I mean, you want them to be cautious.
Yeah.
Better that than, busting through like maniacs. You're okay. Daddy will pick you up if you need it. But they're not bothering you.
They're just exploring. I don't have a lot of battery here, but I want to touch on how we train our pigs to electric fence, because I get asked a lot, how come you don't have a perimeter fence? Don't you feel like you need a perimeter fence? And honestly, we haven't ever had a perimeter fence for our pigs, and there's only been maybe 1 or 2 issues where we've had a pig get loose. And honestly, the last time we had a pig get loose, it wasn't because the pig wanted to get loose, it was because the pig got pushed out of the fence by another pig. So when we first get our piglets, we put them in a 16-foot by 16-foot hog panel enclosure that can be here, it can be somewhere else. We're on a 3-year rotation with our pigs, so they don't go back to the same place within 3 years. In fact, this is our 4th year with pigs here, and we still haven't had pigs touch the same piece of ground from season to season. They go into a 16 by 16-foot enclosure because that's what these hog panels are made for size-wise. So we can run 4 hog panels with T-posts and have an actual hard panel that they can't get through for a relatively inexpensive amount of money, and it's temporary. We set it with T-posts, and we can pull the T-posts up at the end. Inside of that hog panel enclosure, we string 2 strands of 1/2-inch poly tape. That's what we use for pigs. It provides the perfect balance of not getting super caught up in the wind and flipping around, but also is visible enough for the pigs that they can see that there's an electric tape in front of them. Depending where the enclosure is, we'll wire it up either to a wired charger that's plugged into AC power from our house, or in this case, we were a little bit far away. We went with a solar charger right here. Most solar chargers, if you're doing a lot of hog fencing, I wouldn't recommend because they just don't put out enough juice. But for a 16 by 16 foot enclosure that we're working to train them on, it works just fine and definitely zaps them strong enough. They'll live in this enclosure for about a month, usually a little bit more than a month, just because things don't always work out the way you plan them. But they'll be in here for a month, and over the course of that month, they get extremely used to the electric fence. They don't want to touch it. They don't want to go near it. Every once in a while, they will test it a little. They'll put their nose up to it, and we'll hear them get shocked. But by and large, by the time we open up the pasture to them, they know about electric fence. They don't want to go near it. And rather than a super strong shock, we just kind of have a maintenance shock. Just a reminder, like, hey, if you go near this white tape, it's not going to be fun for you. You don't want to do that. So once you get them to this point where they're out here, these 2 strands are all you really need. Granted, you know, if something were to spook them and they ran through the fence, you could have an issue. But that speaks to the importance of bucket training your pigs, which plenty of people do. We do it ourselves. And that's simply making sure that whenever you feed the pigs, you're bringing it to them in a bucket, a white bucket, a recognizable bucket, preferably the same bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket. And they'll begin to equate, oh, the guy with the white bucket, he's good, he's got food. Your pigs will eventually begin to trust you, and you can even see that happening here where they didn't go out all day very far at all. They ventured kind of within like 5 feet of where the fence line originally was. And now that we're out here, they're actually going further and further away. They're investigating more and more. Eventually they would have gotten there on their own, but with us here, it's kind of a comforting fact because they know that we're good people. Hi.
Pig zoomies. All right, let's not break away.
So the awesome thing about this is that while these pigs are out here having a blast, running around, eating whatever they can find here as far as ferns and sticks and rooting around for roots that were left after logging, while they're doing that for themselves, they're helping us too. They're going to flatten this out for us so that we can seed it. They're going to fertilize this pasture with their manure. This is really a two-sided thing. With a cleared area like this, they are going to work to flatten it out and root around and kind of move everything around and get a better grade so we can come through and put seed down on it. Give me pig kisses? No kisses.
Mr. Friendly made it out.
Sneaking up? You sneaking up on me, pigs? And I feel like it's important to note, this is not the normal pasture that we would have our pigs out on. Normally they're in the woods like you see behind me. But this year with this pasture project that we eventually want to turn to grazable land for sheep and other small ruminants, the pigs kind of this year are helping us out to do that job. Hopefully this video gave you some thoughts on how you can get pigs out on pasture using electric fence. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, head down below, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of what we're doing here on the homestead. Otherwise, we thank you for watching and hope you're having a great day. Bye.